Alright, so the Nintendo Direct has happened. Nintendo has shown off the new Nintendo Switch 2, and to be honest, I'm disappointed. Don't get me wrong, I think so many of the games and so many of the things that they showed off looked amazing. They looked wonderful. We're getting a new Kirby Air Ride. We're getting Donkey Kong Bonanza, which to me looks like Mario Odyssey, but Donkey Kong instead, which is really cool. I think I already mentioned it, Kirby Air Ride. I've always wanted a Kirby Air Ride too. So excited for that. There's the new Mario Kart game. It looks like we get to like change skins while playing as well. You can play as a cow. They're bringing back two of some of my most favorite tracks that they didn't have in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is Toad's Factory and Airship Fortress. They're giving us essentially HD remasters, or not HD remasters, but more like upgrades to past games that were available on the Switch. One game that I'm personally really excited for myself is the Bravely Default remaster. Bravely Default has always been one of my most favorited game series of all time. But then after the Direct happens, I get shown a post on Twitter by Geoff Keighley. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Jeff Keithley.
And apparently the Switch console, the Switch 2 console, is going to be sold for $450, which is not too bad. It's a little more expensive than I thought it was going to be. I thought like $400 would be a nice price point. It's $450, still not bad. But now apparently digital games specifically are being sold for $80 a piece now. $80. And he says that's for digital games specifically, which leads me to believe that physical games are going to be at least $90. And with tax, you know, that pretty much bumps it up to $100. I'm having to spend a crisp Benjamin bill in order to buy a game now, which I think is absolutely insane. And to me, I think ruins the system for me. I have always been a huge Nintendo fanboy, right? Well, I don't know if I would say fanboy, but you know, I've always been on Nintendo consoles growing up since I was a kid. They've always had so many games, so many series that I've loved and enjoy. And I don't know, nowadays, I feel like I'm just not really able to really look at the Switch, look at Nintendo in the same way anymore now. When I look at Nintendo, before I would see Nintendo as this, you know, this company. This is the family friendly option. This is the cheap option. This is the affordable option for gaming, right? I'd look at all the other game companies. They're selling their games for $60 a piece, and Nintendo was selling their games for like $40 and $50 a piece. And, you know, as times went on, the prices went up slowly but surely, right? And now we're in the age where people are wanting to spend, you know, are wanting to sell their games for, you know, $70, right? You look at some games recently that have been performing well that are sold at a higher price point, being Persona 3 Reload and Monster Hunter Wilds. I believe both of those games both sold for $70 a piece, and I'm pretty sure both of those did pretty well. And you know, I think with the quality that those games were made at, I think $70 could be a justified price point, right? But now Nintendo wants to start charging $80 for digital copies of the game specifically. So that's already going above and beyond what other games are going for now, like with Monster Hunter Wilds and Persona 3, which are already, like, you know, while those games are very good and high in quality, I still know plenty of people who are very hesitant on wanting to buy the game because they were $70 each, right? Same for myself. I'm a big fan of the series, so I ended up buying the games anyways. I don't mind, you know, shelling out a little extra cash for the things that I like, but I don't know. I feel like this is just too much. $80 for a digital copy of a game, and $90 for what I'm assuming it's going to be $90. It could be the same, it could be more, definitely not going to be less. But I'm assuming $90 for a physical copy of a Nintendo Switch game, I think is absolutely insane. With tax, you know, that's literally putting me at $100 for a single game. $100 USD for a single game is absolutely insane. I was talking to some people that I knew in Discord as well, and none of them are happy about it either. Everybody that I've been talking to, they said, yeah, like, I can't afford to be spending $100 per game, every single game. For me personally, I will probably end up getting the Switch 2. That's mainly just because my current Switch that I have now is falling apart. I think the battery's like expanding in it or something. You could see at the top of it, it's like busting apart at the seams, and the back of it is like cracking in half. So I need to get a new Switch anyways, but even then still, looking at all the games, this is like $100 per game is absolutely insane. I was normally a person where it's like, you know, whenever Nintendo released a game that looked, you know, pretty good, pretty high quality, I would get it just to play it. And, you know, like, I would buy it because it's Nintendo and it looked like a good quality game. But honestly, it's the price point for these is like way too high for me now. I'm probably going to be getting the Mario Kart bundle for the Switch 2 just because I get essentially 50% off buying the game with the bundle, which I think is crazy to say that 50% off on a game is still like, you're still having to pay like $50 for the game essentially, which is absolutely insane for me, just conceptualize. And then I'll probably end up getting the Bravely Default remaster, but that's just because that's one of my most favorite games of all time. But honestly, like, I really do not see myself buying too many games for a console like this. You know, I'm a huge Smash Brothers fan, so maybe if they release a Smash Bros game, I'll buy that. But to be honest, this is like, I cannot see myself buying very many games on a console like this. Nintendo, if you're out there listening right now, I'm telling you, this is not the wave. $80 for, I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but $80 for a digital game, $90, I'm assuming, for physical, is essentially $100 per game. Honestly, looking at this, I feel like I'm probably going to be shifting more towards, you know, PC gaming at this point now, just because, you know, yeah, honestly, I just feel like it's cheaper to go with PC gaming. Not only do I not have to pay for an online membership in order to play games online, but, you know, games actually go on sale on Steam as well. You know, games for PC go on sale all the time, and you always are seeing massive sales all the time on Steam, on I'm sure on like other game hosting websites as well. I've only have experience with Steam, so I'm not too sure about the other sites, but from what I hear, you know, games are always going on sale all the time for PC games. Nintendo, on the other hand, though, they pretty much save sales for the games for like very, very small time windows, very special occasions. Like, their games go on sale maybe like 2, maybe 3 times a year. Maybe 3 times a year. Also, speaking of online memberships just to play games, I also noticed too that a lot of these like expansion packs or these upgrades or whatever, they're offering a lot of these upgrades specifically for the more expensive version, the expansion pass upgrade for online, which personally myself, I don't really like at all. To me, it just seems like they're trying to move towards a more subscription-based approach where everything is on a subscription and nobody really owns anything, and so that, you know, they just kind of get you in a loop and they get you to just keep spending money for their projects, because they don't want to just make something that's just, you know, buy it one time and then you're done, it's yours, you don't got to worry about anything. It's just now all they want to do is just make everything a subscription, so you gotta keep shelling out cash so they can make more money. I'm actually looking at Twitter on the side here as I'm recording this, and I can see trending right now. The first one I see is Switch 2 Direct trending, and then right below that, $80 in all caps. $80 in all caps. People freaking out about the prices for the new Switch games. $80 for a digital copy. Wow. I'm gonna look through some of the comments here that I'm seeing. Nintendo generally just paved the way to $80 games being the norm. What the fuck is this? Fucking sucks. And then they have a gif of Danny DeVito. It's just him clapping, crying, this fucking sucks. Right below, $80 digital games, $90 physical games, ... And it's got a little clip of SpongeBob of the kids, and they're like, that's okay, you can keep that. But yeah, honestly, it seems like not too many people are very happy about this at all. And I can certainly say myself, am not really happy with this. Nintendo, lower the prices, please. If I could buy a physical copy of a game for $70, I would still be down. Because I know prices are rising and stuff, you know. I'm not gonna throw too much of a fit. It is they were charging $60 per game before. This is the next generation up of a console. So I can understand like a $10 increase, but like $20 for digital, and then a $30 increase for physical is absolutely insane to me. Anyways, I'm gonna stop it right there. I'm just rambling at this point, but I felt like I needed to just like voice this out and get my thoughts out there, because honestly, I don't know, man. I feel like Nintendo might not be looking so hot in the future. I think I remember hearing a report or something before of somebody saying that apparently Nintendo announced the Switch 2, and then the stocks for Nintendo went down for some reason, right? And then, honestly, after seeing the news today, it wouldn't surprise me if the stock for Nintendo went down even more. Because I really doubt people are going to be buying so many games now that they're all going to be $100 a pop. But I don't know. You guys tell me what you think about this down below in the comments. Maybe like the video too, so other people can see this. I don't know. Personally, I don't really see myself getting too into Nintendo gaming in the future. I'm just getting the console because my current Switch is broken, and I really need to get a new one. And yeah, that's it. It's probably gonna be more like I'll get like one game a year sort of thing for this, because this is too much. But yeah, that's it.